and thanks for joining us today on TV and Business Daily. I am Chiwandu Sisiago, and today we shall be discussing on the state of the Nigerian economy, the challenges, and the way forward. Before you get to meet my guests, we'll take a quick break, and after the break, we'll continue with our discussion. Please stay with us.
Television Nigerian is one of the leading giants in Nigeria's digital broadcasting. We deliver quality productions to clients from all sectors of life. We are experts in program streaming, event coverage, news reporting, adverts, documentaries, personality profiling, skits, and jingles. You can advertise now on Television Nigerian network platforms or sponsor programs like The Patriot, Spectacle, Business Daily, Security Dossier, and other programs. To publicize your business from ground state to the zenith, we have the capacity to introduce, promote, and publicize your businesses to increase patronage. We associate with quality to attract clients like you. Television Nigerian is your media solution. For bookings, advert placements, and further inquiries, please contact 080-3071-6959 or 070-3462-5838 or 070-5432-7616 or visit us at the Guzupi Hilltop Mansion, the Television Nigerian House, on the address shown on your screen. Television Nigerian, broadcasts beyond boundaries.
Thanks for staying with us again on the program. And if you just joined us, this is TV and Business Daily. And I said earlier that we should be discussing on the state of the Nigerian economy, the challenges, and of course the way forward. Our guest is here in the studio. He is a political and public affairs analyst, Mr. Juna Damwadi. You're welcome to TV and Business this morning.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here too.
And how was your weekend?
Fine, no problem.
Okay, thank you. So let's go straight to the topic of today. Yeah. We're talking about the state of the Nigerian economy, the challenges, and of course the way forward for the country. So now my first question for you is that, what can you say about the state of the Nigerian economy as it stands now, especially now that we're out of recession?
Are we actually out of recession? Well, I will say is a one step forward and two step backward. That is how Nigerian economy is at the moment. According to statistics, 2019, the GDP growth is around 2.2%, and the projected growth this year for 2021 is 2.4%. So what happened to 2020? Even though because of the COVID-19 and the economic shutdown of almost the entire world, but I think a lot needs to be done. We are moving a step forward and taking two steps backwards. If you look at what is happening, it's like the government is actually adjusting to suit the present condition, but it's not reflecting directly to the populace. Because of the inflation rate, the government decided to jack up the VAT. The government decided to jack up the price of the crude oil and also the PPMS. What about the minimum wage? These are the issues we have to contend with. Because at the moment, if you look at what is happening in the entire country, the hike in price of commodities, the hike in services, and the low income rate of the ordinary Nigerian is one of the things that actually is hitting the economy. So if the government don't want to run at loss, they are jacking up all their source of income because the dollar has shoot up. Definitely, if they want a balanced economy and they want a progressive economy, they should jack up the income of the ordinary Nigerian. 30,000. What can 30,000 naira buy for you?
Nothing.
That is the present situation we are in this country. So I would say when Nigeria went into recession around 2009, 10, 11 during Jonathan's era, I think it hasn't changed things much. Only the economies have their own analysis of what is happening in the country, but the ordinary man on the street haven't felt that impact. That is why I said, are we really out of the recession? Because the recession that is presume we are out of now, it's not changing anything to the ordinary citizen on the table. Because what an ordinary Nigerian wants to know is, when you tell him we're out of recession, the price of rice should drop, the price of petrol should drop, the electricity tariff should drop. That is when he will know that the economy is actually suiting him as a Nigerian. But when all those things keep hiking up and you say we are out of recession, I think very few literate individuals who understand the terms we are referring to. So actually we are not out of recession.
So yeah, still, like, your own opinion.
At my own opinion and the general opinion of Nigerians on the street, we are not out of recession. Because if you tell an ordinary Nigerian that in 2012 we are in recession and is buying PMS at the rate of 97 naira, and now we are out of recession and the price of fuel keep hiking.
So now, are we going to blame all this happening in the country to COVID-19?
No. Even before COVID-19, I don't think COVID-19 has done that much harm to the economy.
Okay.
Because in this COVID-19, countries like China made a lot of fortune producing face masks alone. Even though the symptoms was, the virus was first discovered in China, and they are one of the countries mostly hit. But they took advantage because of the medical supplies. Even though the country is entirely under lockdown during that period of COVID-19, but they made a lot of sales. The world is looking up to China to get face masks, to get medical supplies, to get personal protective equipment. So in countries that have prospects, countries that have good policies, I don't think the lockdown is a much of concern to them. So the country, Nigeria, has been in this swingling mode for even before the COVID-19. Even though everything is being now turned to COVID-19. You blame COVID-19 for the hike of in price, you blame COVID-19, but it hasn't stopped the government from servicing the public office holders. It hasn't stopped most of the governments from paying salaries. So where are they getting the money from? Just as I initially said, it's the policies. And when you get people, capable hands, steering the affairs of the economy of the country, they will definitely give you a direction. One of the problems we're having in black African countries, we normally take everything political. When it comes to issues of economy, when it comes to issues of security, you should give experts, those that are expert in those fields. It must not necessarily be a propaganda something, but get those people that can give you a blueprint of what we hope to achieve in the next 20 years. When in the last 30, 40 years back, when Chinese decided to be building stores, empty stores, if you go to so many cities in China, you get very big empty stores, warehouses, that nobody is even occupying them. But they are projecting the population. Their population keep increasing. They keep on having industries. They keep on making productions. So there is a prospect that, okay, after 20 years, if we used to produce 10 tons of rice, for instance, the thing may jack up to ×2. Where are we going to store them? These are some of the things that Nigeria is supposed to be looking at. That is why during lockdown, we have issues, especially when it comes to food supplies, because we don't have reserves. There was an attempt by the federal government to have reserves across the country, but are they functional? Do you have foods there? So we have to look up to what aids coming in from Bill Gates and Melinda Foundation, coming in from Dangote and Boa and so on and so forth, before we can share to people. Somebody cannot stay at home for a complete week. An average Nigerian, if he didn't go out for a complete week, that means there is no food in his house. And if the market doesn't open for a complete week, I'm telling you, so many people will starve to death, because we haven't put that modalities in place to checkmate future occurrence of such things. What have we learned from COVID-19 as a country? Does that help us to plan better? Does that help us to put modalities in place? You know, these are the serious issues that is bothering Nigeria from the independence time, I always blame our forefathers, the founding fathers of Nigeria, because they haven't put that culture in us. All we are after is what we gain now. We don't plan ahead. What are we going to, how will Nigeria look like? We are seeing in cities now, a country, the government will spend fortunes to build a road that links maybe from town A to town B at the cost of 1 billion naira. In less than 5 years, in some places, or less than 10 years, you see the same roads being awarded for expansion. That is because that time that road was constructed, we don't have the perception that the population keep growing. We'll have more vehicles in the next 5 or 10 years. That road cannot contain them. So we end up wasting monies on things that we're supposed to channel it to another different thing. To keep on doing that same road A and B over and over again. So that is the major problem of Nigeria. We don't plan ahead. We don't have what we call, we don't have modalities. We don't have experts to mount. Even when we have the experts, we always take everything political. Because so person is from party A, is giving analysis or projection of this is what's supposed to be done, or we will not take it because it's not from our own political party. And this is not is an issue of life and death. It's an issue of economy. As big as Nigeria is now, Nigeria depends on other people to transport themselves. When it comes to airline, we don't have an airline. These are some of the issues that are bothering. As big as Nigeria is, you don't have a functional railway system that is transportation. These are some of the things that contribute to the hike in price. These are some of the things that contribute to the inflation rates we are having in the country now. Because a single train can carry maybe 30 or 40 times the things that a trailer can carry, and you pay cheaper. You start putting on 30 trailers on the road from Lagos to transport things to Maiduguri. It will take them almost a week to reach. The road is in danger. They cause traffic and dreadlocks. They cause accidents. You understand? And the high price of transportation of those goods. If you sum up the whole thing, you see that we are not going anywhere.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jonah Damadi. Okay, now, the first question I asked you about the state of the economy, you mentioned the hike in fuel, that's the petrol. So now, over the weekend, if you really watch so many filling stations were shut down because of, there's a PPPRA, that's the petrol pricing with they're trying to increase the price. So now people are not selling petrol. So what is the fate of Nigerians?
Well, we are in a very sorry state right now. The most unfortunate thing is that all these things still bounce back to the average Nigerian on the street. Very soon, everything will jack up again. The transport fare will go up, electricity tariff will go up, services will go up because they use all this petrol to run their services, to offer services. It's just unfortunate that the government, just as I said initially, haven't put modalities in place. The problem with us, we don't, the average Nigerian problem, average Nigerian, his problem is not the hike in price, but the availability to afford those commodities and services. When you are paying him, for instance, 100,000, and you are selling fuel at the cost of 200 naira.
209 naira.
209 naira. Even if you are selling it at the rate of 300 naira, at least he knows he have money that he can afford. He can pay his transportation to his work. He can pay his children's school fees. He will have at least 3 square meals a day. But if a Nigerian have to pay 500 naira or thereabout to go to his workplace daily, and the minimum wage is 30,000 naira, that means he's working to pay transportation. He cannot afford his rent from the money. He can't afford to pay his children's school fees. He can't afford a minimum of primary health care facility. So these are the things. When the government, I said initially, government don't want to run at loss. Whenever there is hike in any commodity, fall in price of crude oil, they always maneuver. They find ways of how they run the government, not putting into consideration the effect on the economy, the effect on the ordinary Nigerian. I just said initially, the government increased the tariff. Ordinary Nigerian don't even know that the government charging VAT on the things he buy and the services rendered. Somebody was asking me when the government increased the VAT from 5% to 7.5%. That is a normal thing. I don't know. I said, okay, you will know by the time you started making calls, they used to charge you 6 naira per minute. Now it's almost 9 naira or 7.5 naira.
Nigerians don't even know that.
They don't know that. When the data in your phone is consuming, maybe initially you used to 1 gig used to take you a week. Now it's taking only 5 days. The consumption rate has increased. That is where the government is getting its own resources to run the government.
Okay, now before we take a quick break, Mr. Junior, I wanted to ask that, okay, now because a man must survive.
Yeah.
Your children must go to school.
Definitely.
You must eat.
Definitely.
You must go to work. So now, how do you advise Nigerians to survive in this period?
We just have to diversify means. What I mean by diversifying means is to look at what are the most important things we need, not looking at our wants. We have wants and we have needs. So, first of all, take care of your needs. That is very important. If you don't have to, it's not a necessity for somebody to travel from Abuja to Kano to attend a wedding. For instance, I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
When you need to go to work on Monday, or you are posted to somewhere in Kaduna to work. So, weigh the options. By the time you use your money to go and attend a Jimbori and come back by the weekend, on Monday you will not be having money to go to work. So these are some of the things that is our culture, our spending culture. We need to adjust it. Yeah. It's very important.
Very important, because I heard somebody saying that if you used to eat meat before, you have to change it.
You have to change it. Fish or momo
so now we have to
is
change.
cheaper.
We have to readjust ourselves.
You have to readjust yourself.
Yes. All right, thank you very much. We'll take a quick break now, and then after the break, we'll continue with our discussion. Please stay with us.
My name is Chiwendu Osisiago, presenter Television Nigerian Business Daily. In a globalizing world, ours is to keep you engaged, informed, and educated on contemporary happenings in the business world. We therefore command a special audience of business-minded viewers who are eager to know more about business. I mean, your business. Why don't you take advantage of our special affordable offer to let the world know about your concepts, your goods, and of course, your services? You can call us on 080-3071-6959 or 070-3234-9054. You can also visit us at Television Nigerian in Guzapi, Abuja, and follow us on all the social media handles on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, on Twitter at Television Nigerian. Your business is our concern.
Thanks for joining us again on the program. And if you're just joining us, this is TV and Business Daily. We've been discussing on the state of the Nigerian economy, the challenges, and of course the way forward. Of course, my guest has been discussing with us on that. He's a political and public affairs analyst, Mr. Jonathan Darande. Okay, now before we conclude, our time is fast spent. So what do you have to say right now to the government, to Nigerians, and of course to our viewers out there?
It's very important that the government should know that the economy of the country is the driving force of every country. When you get the economy very right, you will have a peaceful country, one. Because I always give people, aftermath of this MSAS protest and so on and so forth, the bottom line is that people are hungry. And there is frustration. When somebody just sit down at the comfort of his house, the month is just maybe 13 or 14 years, already exhausted the salary. Some are not even working, and the land that people are protesting against the government, and they are giving them food there. So some of them are not even interested in going for the protest, but they know that their meal is secured there. They are very sure of what they will eat. So the government should be responsive and be up and doing, especially when it comes to the economy. They should get experts that know these things. They should always be seeking for professional advice, so that they will give policies, not for now, but for the sake of the future. I've never read anywhere a proposed plan by the government of what Nigeria is projected that by 2050 will be far about 300 million. What is the government putting in place for such population now? We are still building tiny roads. Everybody, transportation, car is now a necessity in Nigeria. It's no more a luxury. Because when you calculate the money you pay in public transport, it's better for you, it's very far cheaper for you to fuel your car and go about doing things. So these are the policies that government is supposed to put in place. Secondly, for the ordinary Nigerian on the street, I will still repeat myself, they should change their spending culture. When you know that 5 or 10 pairs of clothes is far enough for you to be using for now, don't go and buy 50 and keep them for no reason, because they will be depreciating. You will not be using them, and you spend money unnecessarily on them when you have other needs to attend to. If you can't afford a bottled water, a sachet water will be fine, in as much as it's very portable and clean for you to drink. So these are some of the things we as Nigerians need to imbibe. When you go to the Western countries, you will see big public office holders, ministers boarding trains because they are available. Somebody now taking a drop from maybe the airport to the central area, paying 5,000 naira, when a train you can pay less than 200 naira. Which one will you prefer? But the trains are not there, so you don't have option than to board the cab for 5,000 naira. So government as well need to get all the basic amenities, not for now, but for the sake of the future. Because if you read very well in economics, there is nowhere you have a reverse, automatic reverse or automatic downfall of price of commodities. It doesn't happen. If there is a high, it hardly go down to the normal price. So it keeps on increasing day by day. So today in the black market, dollar is almost at 500 naira. You don't expect dollar to reverse back to 185 that it used to be again. It may be there might be a slightly downfall to maybe 400 or 420 or 450, but you don't expect the good old days of 5 or 10 years ago. So what have you planned? What are your plans that the dollar may jack up to 1,000 naira in the next 20 years? When is 1,000 naira? The most surprising thing about the government is some of the state governments don't pay minimum wage till now, till date. People still earn more than less than 30,000 naira. So when the government get the policies, make sure there is implementation. When there is implementation and there are standards in the world, after certain years, they should jack up. They don't need labor unions to go on labor actions before they can do what is expected of them. So when these things are being done, I think we will have a succor to the present economic crisis, because I term it a crisis. We're in an economic crisis presently in the country.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jonah Danladi, for coming on TVN today. You've said it all, that the government should be responsive and should be open doing in order to make things easy for Nigerians, especially now that we're in a time of difficulties. And then to the public, you should change your spending culture. The way you spend in the year 2020 should be different from the way you're going to be spending now in the year 2021, because things are now different. It's not like the way things are increasing on a daily basis. So now you have to change and strategize and readjust your lifestyle And government too should, when you get policies, they should ensure they implement those policies in order to ensure that things run smoothly in the country. Many thanks today for coming on TV and Business again. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
All right, and that's the much I have for you today on TV and Business Daily. I am Chiwande Osisiago, and don't forget that you can follow us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook and YouTube, and of course on Twitter at Television Nigerian. Do have a wonderful day. Bye for now.